Hey, Glovelies, and welcome back to Glove Actually. I'm Courtney, and this week we are going to talk all about the American League Central, and we're going to be joined by some very special guests who are going to help us break down everything we are looking forward to with the incoming 2026 MLB season fast approaching. But as always, if there's anything you want to hear us talk about here on the podcast, be sure to leave it in the comments, and be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Amazon podcasts, and be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop when we post new episodes every Wednesday. All right, Glovelies, this week, Hallie is going to be your moderator for this roundtable. Take it away, Hallie.
Hi, Glovelies. Traditionally, we would kick things off with our Pookies of the week. However, this week we are joined by representative fans from the AL Central teams. And first, I'd love to let them introduce themselves and their teams. So, Danielle, would you like to go first?
Sure. My name is Danielle, and I am repping the Chicago White Sox.
And Shane?
I am Shane, and I will be representing the Cleveland Guardians.
Angelina?
My name is Angelina, and I'm representing the Detroit Tigers.
Samantha?
My name is Sam, and I'm representing the KC Mo Royals, heavy on the Mo.
And Sherry, who are you representing today?
Hey, I'm Sherry, and I'm representing the Minnesota Twins.
Excellent. So Danielle, would you like to share your Pookie now?
My Pookie for this week is Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis. As someone who lives in a town that was invaded by the federal government, that man is appropriately pissed about him experiencing the same. So shout out Jacob.
And Shane, who's your Pookie this week?
Mine's going to be so much stupider than that. Mine is going to be Randy, the Big Unit Johnson. He has been taking photos for the NFL, and he exploded a bird with a ball, so never forget it.
Angelina, who is your Pookie this week?
I'm giving it out to Mary Sheffield, who is the first woman mayor of Detroit.
Excellent. Sam, who is your Pookie this week?
I'm going with Mr. Slugger, our mascot.
Very festive. What a star. And Sherry, who is your Pookie this week?
My Pookie is my friend Brooke, and she's Brooke Knows Ball on all socials, but she has been back and forth to the DR 2 times in the past 3 weeks, and she is just killing it. She's out there sharing the story of the youth in the Dominican Republic and the other players, and it's just been really inspiring to watch.
Yay, Brooke. And Glovelies, of course, if you would like to share your Pookie in our comments, go ahead and take them if you're able to. Okay, Glovelies, we are now going to get into what makes the teams of the AL Central so special. So one at a time, our guests are going to go through so you can get to know them and their team a little bit better. So here we go. Danielle, would you like to start?
This is where we can all acknowledge that the White Sox are not a very good team. And as such, my favorite current active player is not from the AL Central. It happens to be Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres. Yeah, I know there's, a little bit of controversy there, and I think he's matured quite a bit, and the stuff that he's done for the city of San Diego I think sets a great example for other ball players in the cities that they play in.
Yeah, I think so. And who are you most excited to watch this year? Which player?
I think this year I'm most excited for our recent pickup of Murakami and his 35% strikeout rate. It means that those of us who were fans of the team while Adam Dunn was playing get to go back to playing a game called Home Run or Strikeout.
Makes it simple. And what do you think the biggest obstacle facing your team this season would be?
Our biggest obstacle is that we are the Chicago White Sox, and I think the best thing that we could do to overcome that would be to figure out how to get rid of Jerry Reinsdorf. And shout out to the guy that I sat with in the bleachers at the end of the 2024 season. He had some fantastic ideas.
Excellent. The more I think, the more fun and likely to work. What's your favorite thing about the White Sox?
One of my favorite things would definitely be the history of the White Sox logo in hip hop. Y'all just can't touch it. You can't.
Yeah.
It's a whole other cultural phenomenon that really doesn't exist elsewhere in sports. Like maybe the Raiders would get close, but it doesn't hold a candle.
And then are there anything especially unique about your stadium's fan experience or any 2026 giveaway you're excited to experience?
My favorite part of the fan experience is we have a section of our ballpark called the Bullpen Bar. And when you get inside the Bullpen Bar, you say hi to Paula. She's the best vendor at the ballpark. You get a craft tall boy from her. And then you go and stand at the window that is floor to ceiling window that faces out on the away team's bullpen. And so you watch them warm up there. You can see the whole field at like eye level. And then when they bring in relief pitchers to warm up and things like that, they're all out there. So you can just sit and watch. And it's a totally different view than what a lot of other ballparks have with your view being above the bullpen. You are at ground level with the players.
That's crazy. I don't think I've heard of that anywhere else.
It's awesome. I write notes to players in that area who are warming up. I get free double bubble all the time.
Oh, wow.
It's also a good way.
Amazing.
So all ballpark has a thing where if you buy a 500 level ticket, you can't get to any other level in the ballpark. But save yourself some dollars, buy that 500 level ticket, go in through the bullpen bar, say hi to Paula, and then the exit to the bullpen bar, nobody checks your ticket. So you buy that cheap ass ticket, and then you just go find yourself in the bleachers in the 100 level. Y'all do not tell anybody from the White Sox that I told you about this.
Well, I think more than a couple people might hear.
That's okay. You can use my hack. Just, don't get us caught.
Be cool about it. Don't ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
Jade, do you have a favorite, most memorable moment from the 2025 season?
I was at a game with my friend Aaron. He's one of my baseball besties that I go to a bunch of games with. And on September 19th, 2025, that was the first game of the series with the Padres in town. And sitting behind us was a dude who was cheating on his wife. And he was not being very secretive about it. And I very shadily took photos of him with this woman and maybe might have posted it on the area Facebook Are We Dating the Same Guy page.
Oh my gosh, that's my dream, actually.
I don't know that it was like my proudest moment ratting this dude out, but I actually had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I always hope. And do you have a favorite memory of this team?
As the team overall, one of my favorite memories, a lot of my favorite memories have to do with Mark Burley. I loved going to the games that he pitches. He is the original pitch clock. And I know a lot of people would reference his perfect game, but one of my favorite White Sox moments, and probably my favorite Burley moment, there was a game when he walked Sammy Sosa. Sosa was playing for Texas at this point, and he walked Sammy Sosa. It shouldn't have been a walk, but umpires, and Sosa's on first, and immediately the next pitch, Burley picks him off. Like Sosa was like walking down to first base, and Burley just turned around and picked him off and sent him back to the dugout, and that was super cute. But I do want to give a shout out to the Sox fans of 2024, especially those of us in the bleachers, the last home series. I know it's mean, I know it's shady, and you should be good to your team, but we were out in those bleachers chanting for loss 121, and when those guys did not make history in front of us, it is the most angry I have ever seen a group of sports fans about their team winning a game.
What a treat. Thank you so much. And Shane, are you ready?
Hi.
Hi, Shane.
I'm always ready to yap.
So would you like to tell the Glovelies who your favorite current active player is?
My favorite current active player is Stephen Kwan. He is so handsome and so good at baseball, and he's my favorite boy, and I'm so glad we have him for at least another year. It was on the fence there for a while, and we kept him, and I'm so excited for another season with him. Love Stephen Kwan.
Is he the player you're most excited about this year?
No, actually, I would say Tanner Bybee. He's been pitching his butt off. He pitched his butt off last season, and I'm excited to see what he does this year. And we've got him. They just re-signed him, so we're good there. Technically, right into the biggest obstacle, which is our bullpen. It's always been an obstacle because my team loves to overuse pitchers. When everyone else is averaging like 40 games, the Cleveland pitchers are 60, 70. It's awful. So keep my boys in your thoughts and prayers. Their arms are tired.
Yeah, and a good bullpen is hard to build.
Absolutely.
You either got it or you don't, kind of.
We usually have it. It's just when they're overused,
What's your favorite thing about the team?
That we finally changed our racist mascot and name, and we're the Guardians, and it's a bridge that nobody really heard of until they named the team after it, but it's okay. We still love it.
It's a bridge?
Yeah, so there's a bridge, and it's the Guardians of the city, and these two statues, and they guard Cleveland. Nice. They guard the land.
That's nice.
That's a cool
thing. What unique things about the stadium do you love so much? I know it's been a couple of years since you were there.
Dude, almost 20 since I've been. They were still Jacobs Field the last time I was there, but the mustard, our overrated mustard. Everyone loves the brown mustard from Cleveland. They sell it in stores in the Midwest, and I have my friends ship it to me every now and again. Love that mustard.
That mustard game is on point. It's so good.
It's so good.
Do you have a most memorable moment from the 2025 season?
I would say a moment that lasted about a month, and that was the September to remember. Just that comeback to win the whole division and then blow it in the first round of the the playoffs like we do to Detroit. We beat Detroit and then they came back and beat us right back. That's how it's been as long as I can remember. It's always Detroit. It's either Detroit or the Yankees. Every time I've cried at baseball, it's because of them.
And do you have a favorite sports memory of the Guards?
I don't want to get too emotional. I'll keep it brief. But watching Game 7 of the 2016 World Series with my dad, even though we lost that series, that's just a game I go back to and think about a lot. I really love that time and the emotion. And man, win or lose, a Game 7 is still a Game 7, you know? And it brings up so much emotion. And that was one of the last big games I got to watch with my dad. So I'll always hold that one pretty close to the chest. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Absolutely.
Angelina's turn to share.
First of all,
that-
sorry, Shane.
It's okay. We won the division and you guys lost, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we did, but that was our own fault.
Angelina, who is your favorite current active player?
Oh, I'm gonna cry. Tarek Skubal. Detroit has always had the biggest heart, one of the biggest hearts in baseball. There's, a lot of teams that do, but there's something so special about Detroit. And for a long time, we were struggling, mostly because of just how the team had lined up and everything. And then along comes Tarek Skubal and gelled this team together, brought it to the forefront of not just good baseball, but how that team presents itself, but also takes care of each other. You watch him on that mound and you can see, like, he does not hide his emotions, and it feeds the rest of the team. Like, oh no, okay, we're going to pedal to the metal, people. Come on, let's go.
And who are you most excited to watch play this year?
I have a couple people, but right now the trajectory that Baez coming out of his slump from 2024 into 2025, I don't think we've seen even the height of his comeback yet. I think we're in for a show.
Excellent. And what do you think the biggest obstacle your team is facing this season is?
Management. That team wants it. Yes, we're coming out of the dark because of where we were for the last 10 years, but at the same time, they're not letting them play to their full potential right now. They're still getting held back. And the bullpen, it's the same thing with Detroit right now. They're trying to build up that bullpen. It's a wait and see kind of thing at the moment.
And what's your favorite thing about the team?
I'm going to reiterate again, the heart of that team. It starts with I've always said the way fans react and the way fans present themselves starts with the team and the way the team presents themselves. And that team, I still get choked up going into Comerica Park whenever I'm back home, because I currently live in New York City these days, but I proudly wear my Detroit merch everywhere I go in the city. So there's this beautiful camaraderie about Detroit. And when Detroit comes together, Detroit comes together. There is no other magic like it with that team. And it carries over into the fan base.
I believe it. That actually brings us directly into what's so special about your stadium and the fan experience they provide.
I'm going to pinpoint a certain fan experience, which is opening day. And I know everybody says their opening day is the best. Great, cool. I'll let you have that. Detroit literally shuts down for 2 days. The whole city. You can't drive through. There are tents everywhere. That city just comes together in droves. Even when we're losing, we don't care. There's nothing like it. I wish I had words to describe it. You can hear the stadium from miles away because it's not just the stadium. Everybody is downtown. Everybody's out of work. It's basically a local holiday.
Amazing.
Nobody, if you call out on opening day, like, okay, fine, you won't get fired. We know where you are.
And do you have a most memorable moment from the 2025 season?
I have two, and I tried to narrow it down, but both have to do with Dylan Dingler. It was back in May, and they were stealing second, and nobody realized how great an arm that Dylan Dingler had. Threw it over, and everyone was like, where did that just... Even Tarek was like, you trying to show me up? What's happening here? And then the one with him and Zach McKinstry, what everybody's calling the Savannah Banana moment in the Detroit Tiger season. It blipped off of Dingler's glove, and McKinstry caught it, and they were like freaking out. It was so cool.
Excellent. And do you have a favorite sports memory of your team of all time?
It's going to sound like I'm stealing Shane's, but I'm not. This has to go back to my dad. My father was a broadcast journalist for years in Detroit. And because he was this, whenever we would go to games when we were really little, he would take us to the press box. One time it was just me and him, and he realized he had his press pass on him, and he goes, hey, want to go up to the press box? And I'm like 10, and I'm like, yeah. And we went up to the press box, and I may have been younger, because I don't remember if it was Ernie. Ernie might have been there. I don't remember though. I was really young at the time. For those, Ernie Harwell, who was the voice of Detroit for years and years and years. But I don't actually remember who was in the press box, unfortunately, because I was very young at the time. Most of my other memories too, like I remember years later, I ended up taking my dad to a game. I surprised him for his birthday one year, and we got seats right behind home plate. So
what
yeah,
a treat.
most of that has to do with my dad, my papa.
What a treat. Thank you. Sam, are you ready?
Yeah.
Excellent. Who is your current favorite player, Sam?
Okay, so I have to say that my current favorite player and the player I'm most excited about, because literally my mom would kill me if I said any other name, is Salvador Perez. She is like his super fan, and she was like, if you name drop anyone else, like we're fighting. So he's just such a vibe.
Excellent. And that's honestly what I look for in a player too. If the vibes aren't fun and interesting, I'm checked out.
Literally.
And what do you think the biggest obstacle facing your team this season is going to be?
I would say that apparently the stadium possibly moving is the biggest concern for Kansas City. Just kidding. But that is like literally causing uproars between Missouri and Kansas. But I would say like just finishing. Like I think that we've seen a glimpse of the comeback kids and haven't been able to like finish that up. So I think that just finishing out strong and doing what we're supposed to do all the way through is going to be the biggest obstacle. So we need that execution.
And what is your favorite thing about the team?
I'm going to go with our uniforms. I seriously love our home. I love our blues. I love our gray, like the white jerseys, like everything is super crisp. Obviously our mascot. I just definitely think that like the aesthetic is pleasing.
Yes, that's one of the things that keeps me interested in what the Rays are doing, is because they have a fun aesthetic too. And kind of tied into that, what are some unique things about your stadium fan experience that you look forward to most?
Okay, so I have to actually pout in this moment because back in my day, for the sixth inning, they would always play Friends in Low Places. And so it was like a giant sing along. Everyone's like jamming. I was way too young to be singing the lyrics to the song, but loved every second of it. And then like 10 years ago, they switched it to Don't Stop Believing, which fine, but it's still not the same vibe as Friends in Low Places. So this is me petitioning to bring the song back.
And Sam, just to wrap it up with you, do you have a favorite sports memory of your team?
So I'm always like a Fireworks Friday girly, but specifically when I first chatted with, I think it was Courtney, about coming on the podcast, I started thinking back. So my mom was a single mom for a long time, and there was a specific Fireworks Friday that actually happened on the 4th of July, and we couldn't afford tickets. But we drove up to the stadium and parked across the street and literally laid on the hood of her car and just watched the fireworks and like listened to like the cheering and stuff. And it was a very, very good memory for, one of the tougher times that we'd been through. And it's heavy and on my heart, but I love looking back at it.
Yeah, it's the best. I think going to do a game with your parents is always the best when you're a kid.
Yes, agreed.
Thank you. Sherry, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's rock.
All right, Sherry, who is your current favorite active player?
Cody Clemens. Come in clutch, Cody Clemens.
Yes.
He took him a little bit to warm up, but he ended up being honestly the face of the franchise. He ended up being the game winner of the franchise. He ended up playing small ball, which no teams do in the whole league. And so to see someone actually playing small ball was absolutely refreshing.
And is he who you're most excited to watch this season?
I'm actually excited to watch, and it's not for anything other than just I want to see how he does here. I'm excited to watch Josh Bell. He's a new player for us, even though he's a veteran. I've seen all of our guys, and so I'm just excited to see how he fits into the team chemistry-wise.
And what do you think the biggest obstacle facing your team is going to be this season?
So I am not I feel bad because everybody's just so gushy and lovey and happy, and I did this completely differently, so I feel horrible. But I said coaching, ability to translate to a new way of playing, getting away from not only using only analytics to play the game. We need to be more effective in the gaps and the ground balls, swinging for the fences, not taking the first pitch. These are all game basics that I think all teams have forgotten, because if you hit a home run, it looks cool. And, that's where your exit velocity and your speed and all that stuff comes in. So I really think we need to get out of our own way and out from behind the analytics to really succeed.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about the Twins?
My favorite thing about them, so kind of two things, because it goes back to how the environment is growing. Our pitching staff, and the pitching staff is because they continue to challenge themselves. They allow themselves to grow. They trust Pete Mackey. They didn't trust anybody else like Rocco, which I don't blame them. They really put a lot of trust into what they are being told. They not only work hard to perfect their old pitches, but even if they try new pitches, they are just small enough that if they know they're not working, they pull out of it and they go right back to what they already learned. And the second thing is definitely bringing back Michael A. Taylor. The Twins are finally starting to see the value of bringing in real baseball players to actually help the other baseball players. There have been too many staff that haven't not necessarily not played the game, but they don't have the baseball intelligence of how on-field chemistry and mechanics work. And the Twins, over the past 2 seasons at least, have been engaging former players to come back and help run the day-to-day on-the-field basics.
What are some unique things about about Target Field, the stadium experience, that you look forward to most when you go?
Oh, the stadium experience is absolutely 100% phenomenal. They have the Bullseye's backyard, which has got like lawn games, face painting. It's got chairs so you can sit out there. The kids can run around if they get restless. We also have a sensory room for our kids that get overstimulated and autism. We're only number 7 of MLB stadiums that have done that. And there is 100% access to the players like around the entire stadium, from the bullpen to catching fly balls and foul balls. You are never out of reach of getting a player's attention or being able to catch something coming in.
And do you have a most memorable moment of the 2025 season?
Of the 2025 season, I definitely do. Buxton's cycle was the first cycle at Target Field, and it was featured on Buxton's bobblehead day. So that was my absolute favorite moment. And then anything else Harrison Bader did.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite sports memory of the Twins of all time?
Of all time is going to be the 2019 team. I really think that that was one of the pinnacles of our team. We had one of the best rosters from Arise, Chrome, Polanco, Buxton. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and I don't care. Jake Cave, Eddie Rosario. Like, the only thing that stopped us once again was our own heads in the mental game against the Yankees after winning the division. So that really, or in the divisional series. So that really sucks. And then another mental game that we have issues with are the Guardians. And so when we walked them off with Cody Clemens on May 29th off Cade Smith, I was a happy girl.
What a treat. How wonderful. Okay, Glovelies. We're going to be doing our top 5 a little bit different this week. We're going to hit a couple categories, and everyone is going to name their number 1 favorite. We're going to go through, we're going to do category by category in the same order we did your little intros to. So let's start with everyone's favorite ballpark snack. Danielle, go for it.
So I'm going to officially declare that Sox Park has some of the best food in all of MLB. So if you need a little snacky, I highly recommend the elote stands. If you want a heartier meal, my favorite is the hot honey fries. It's a basket of wildly hot fries topped with bits of popcorn chicken, and all of that gets topped with a drizzle of hot honey and then a wee bit of a buttermilk ranch. It's unbelievable. You can find it in the loaded fries section in 100 level.
That does sound absolutely life-changing. Shane, what is your favorite baseball snack?
So as I was writing my notes in a frenzy earlier, I wrote helmet cream instead of helmet ice cream. But I had to just share that helmet cream was written down in my notes. But if we're talking about bonkers snacks, that pierogi dog at the Pittsburgh Pirates, it's got pierogies and pot roast on it. I want to go to Pittsburgh just to see what that's about. It looks like it could feed an army, but for me, it's the tiny little helmet of ice cream. It's classic.
A helmet of ice cream has never treated me wrong. Angelina, what is your favorite ballpark snack?
I have 2. So one is the nachos, phenomenal. Pretty much the only thing I can eat. But I do want to give a shout out to the Fairway slider, which is called the Carry Bond Savvy Slider. It is amazing. They get such, it's literally one of the top menu items on the Comerica Park menu.
Yum. And Sam, what is your favorite ballpark snack?
I have never felt more basic. but I'm going with a solid pretzel and cheese, and keeping it the OG.
The classic for a reason.
Delicious. And Sherry, what is your favorite ballpark snack?
I'm a perpetual child. These three I have every single game, and it's pathetic, but nachos in a helmet, cotton candy, and Dippin' Dots. Like, I don't care what
Yeah.
stadium you're at. If you have good cotton candy and Dippin' Dots and nachos, I'm a set girl.
Excellent. Keeping it easy. All right. So we're going to bring it to the second round of who we think the sexiest mascot is. So Danielle, start us off, please.
I'm going to say y'all really missed out on the mascot episode, not giving this guy a shout out. And I'm not doing it just because I represent the White Sox, but Southpaw is the sexiest mascot out there. I'm going to admit to this. I put the kisses on Southpaw every home game. Excellent hugger. Will scoop you up in his arms and romance the bejesus out of you.
That's your real husband.
Oh, yeah. I was once married and Southpaw walked me down the aisle.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Southpaw,
God.
Southpaw and I for life. We've been putting kisses on each other for like 17 years, y'all.
Did he object
Stunning.
when the priest asked?
No, he was gone by
Oh,
then.
man.
He was-
Oh, man. Shane, who do you think the sexiest baseball mascot is?
There are two. There are two obvious answers, and I need to say both of them because I've been mulling this over all day. Obvious shout out to Mrs. Met, built like a Pixar mom, got a donk for days. God bless it.
Jan, my number
hell of a
one.
bod on Mrs. Met. But have you guys seen D. Baxter, the Diamondbacks mascot?
Yeah, we've
He's
talked about
jacked
it.
to the gills. He has to be on the gear, but I do not care. He is so jacked. He dresses like Elvis. Sometimes he wears a Speedo. This guy is,
Yeah.
give him a Google because
He's hot. Yeah.
he's hot as hell, dude.
When we recorded the mascot episode, Hallie said, and I quote, "I've never wanted to f an animal before."
Yeah, 100%.
They knew what they were doing. I don't think they had pure intentions. Angelina, who is your sexiest mascot?
Well, I mean, first of all, we got to get up for Paws. He's one of the youngest mascots. But if you ever seen Paws in jeans, look that up. But yeah.
So pause, but only if he's in jeans. Sam, are you ready with your sexiest mascot?
Yes, it's gonna come to no surprise that Avi, my vote is for Slugger. Number one, he's the king of the jungle. He has a freaking crown. And then as a romance girly, just the growl. We all talk about the growl in books. Like, it's a lion. He's growling for sure. For sure.
For sure. And Sherry, who do you think the sexiest mascot is?
Well, I am a personality girl as a theater and marching band and political science nerd. So Blooper is hands down not only the best mascot in MLB, but when I met him, I was working the All-Star game this past year in Atlanta. There was no one on the concourse. There was no one around except for myself and my best friend. And he started walking up the corridor. And when I tell you, I screamed bloody murder. I ran across the concourse and he picked me up and swooped me in a circle. I was like, I'm done. This man is fantastic. So he is forever the best and the sexiest.
Excellent. Moving on, we're going to now go through our favorite silly goose player in all of the Major League. So Danielle, who's your top silly goose player?
First, I'm going to give a shout out to my top silly goose moment, which would have been Chipper Jones rescuing Freddie Freeman off of an Atlanta highway on a four-wheeler. But my all-time favorite silly goose of all of MLB is going to be Mr. Bob Uecker.
Yeah. Great choice.
Especially, being so close to Milwaukee and being able to go to games there and seeing the bond that he has with fans and the players. But his demeanor was just so fun and silly and goofy. And even though you knew that he loved the sport, he clearly had the ability to talk to people about it in a way that was just fun and endearing. And in addition to that, like, come on, dude did Major League. Let's go. Like, you can't be more silly goose than that.
And Shane, who's your favorite silly goose in the Major League?
I really love the on-field antics of Mookie Betts, even though he plays for the Sith right now. But I love Mookie Betts. I think he's a silly goose. He's an adorable little guy, and I love him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Angelina, who is your favorite silly goose?
Riley Green. He's just a goofball. He's always having so much fun. He's always trying to make everybody else laugh, and he's just always doing something silly. And with all the guys, it's hilarious.
Excellent. And Sam, who is your favorite silly goose player?
I'm gonna go with Harrison Bader.
Great choice. We the Bader Tots are big fans of Harrison Bader here.
The Bader Tots, yes.
And Sherry, who is your favorite Silly Goose player?
My favorite one, and if you've not watched any Twins games, you need to go back and watch Austin Red Sox games because hands down, it's Christian Vasquez. That dude is a riot. And shout out to Mookie and Bader because they were number 3 and number 2 on my list, but it is forever Christian Vasquez. That man is entertainment, period.
Excellent. And to wrap up our top 5, we're going to go through and announce what your walk-up song would be if you played baseball. So Danielle, start us off.
So one thing I learned from Gordon Beckham is that if you choose a song the fans can get into, you become a fan favorite, no matter how well or how poorly you play. So I'm going to pick a song with a beat that some fans will recognize and a beat that some fans can get into. And my walk-up song is going to be Too Close by Next.
Ooh.
But we have to make sure there's no lyrics in it because it's instantly filthy.
Yes, I had the same problem with my walk-up song, which was by Cupcake. I forgot which one I chose. They're all perfect. Shane, what would your walk-up song be?
It's gonna be "It's All Coming Back to Me Now" by Celine Dion.
Yeah, perfect choice.
And it's gonna hit on the bed, and I'm just saunter onto into the box. That's how I walk out.
Hell yeah. Angelina, what would your walk-up song be?
Why do you always make me laugh so hard right before I have to talk?
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
I'm like over here trying to get my breath back. I'm like, this isn't fair. It was a toss-up, but again, like with Danielle, like something with a beat. I would go with "You Can't Stop This" by Alex Warren.
Yeah, great choice. Excellent. And Sam, what would your walk-up song be?
Definitely Girls in the Hood. Definitely by Meg the Stallion. Yeah. And you have to include lyrics because otherwise it's going to get mixed up with the throwback, but we need the girls version.
I dig it. I'm into it. And Sherry, what would your walk-up song be?
I'm going to age myself, so don't judge me, but it has always been and will forever be Circus by Britney Spears.
Ooh,
excellent choice.
That's a good one.
And then
Excellent
shout
choice.
out to my girl Taylor for I Did Something Bad because that is just an absolute jam, but it will forever be Circus by Britney Spears.
Excellent. Excellent choices. Before we finish up today, Lovelies, we are going to leave you with some recommended media. And we have all of our guests bringing in something special to represent their team this week. So we're going to start with Danielle's recommendation. Take it away.
Everyone in Chicago supports you watching The Dark Knight. It's one of the only movies filmed in this city where those of us who live here actually recognize all of the places it was filmed. And then also just rewatch Heated Rivalry.
Shane, take it away for your recommended media this week.
So just to kind of like piggyback off of the Dark Knight pick, because that's a great movie and it was filmed in Chicago, I'm going to go with the new Superman because not only was it filmed at Progressive Stadium where the Guards play, Go Meteors, but there's a lot of connection to Cleveland with Superman itself. The creator of Superman is from Cleveland, and Metropolis is heavily based on the city, which I think is really cool. And also the reason why Dark Knight was filmed in Chicago is because Gotham City is based on Chicago, which is really cool. So you want to talk about New York and LA, but really it's the Midwest. That's where the action happens. That's where Batman and Superman are at. I really love the movie. I love the message of the movie. If you haven't seen it by now, it's streaming everywhere. Corn Sweat's handsome and charming, and Lex Luthor's a bad guy, which I love because I'm so tired of superhero movies having sympathetic bad guys. I just want to like root for the baby face and boo the heel, and that's what you get in Superman. It's just a good dude trying to be good, doing good stuff. So if you haven't seen it, give it a try. And also, I suggest reading up on the creator of Superman because he was a really big figure in Cleveland, and I believe he stayed there his whole life.
Excellent. Angelina, what is your recommended media this week?
For my media piece, I chose the movie 61, which is the story about Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris in the race for beating Babe Ruth's record. I was about 19 or 20 years old when we shot the movie, and I am also in it. My father is a professional actor, and he got the the call to be on set. And he said, hey, two of my kids are available to be in the stands. Can I bring them? And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? And me and my brother as teenagers were extras in the movie.
That's crazy.
And the movie is directed and basically Billy Crystal directed it. And he is a huge baseball person and he loves Detroit. And Tiger Stadium doubled as Yankee Stadium. So I can't believe I'm going to tell you the story. This was Old Tiger Stadium. Old Tiger Stadium had shut down at this point, so it wasn't being used. But it just sat there like, hey, we have this great stadium. Let's go shoot there. And they covered all the seats with this green that at the time that was what the Yankee seats looked like back in the 60s, was this mint green. Somebody had something to cut with. I'm not going to actually say the word. And the way that Tiger Stadium was, all the seats were like this rubber mesh. And on all the back of the chairs, they had an orange D stamped into the mesh. So this guy decided to pass this thing down, all the way down, and we all cut out a D on the back of the chair. And so it's back in Michigan. It's not with me. Otherwise I would have shown it to you, but it's about this big. And I've got the blue part and then the mesh D from the original Tiger Stadium. The stadium was shut down. Let's make that very clear.
Yeah. And what are they going to do?
What are they, and how are they going to find out? Well, they're going to find out
Exactly.
now. But my brother was not sitting with me at that time. So he didn't get one.
Excellent. And Sam, what is your recommended media for this week?
So my recommended media is going to actually be my romance novel, Ties That Bind by S.K. Brown. It's basically a story that follows Arya navigating a recent separation from her soon-to-be ex-husband and trying to co-parent with him. And she actually runs into her childhood sweetheart who left town a really long time ago. So tropes that come up, I would say, are like friends to lovers, second chance, redemption love, childhood sweetheart, but it's definitely a solid 4 chili peppers. So if you're a romance, spicy smut lover, it is for you. And I actually have the sequel coming out to 22.
Excellent. Congratulations. Can't wait to add it to
you.
my list.
Yes.
And Sherry, what is your recommended media for this week?
Yeah, so I don't know how many of you know who Taylor Jenkins Reid is, but she's a phenomenal author and I love her stuff. And I just finished Carrie Soto is Back. And what this has to do with my team is the main character is Carrie Soto and she comes back to play tennis at 37. So the plot is a player who leaves the game due to injury and comes back after 8 years. And while they don't win, they have a personal victory because that's all that's left. And so the tropes for me were older players that can play when given a chance and a good coach. Like I said earlier, those sloppy seconds, just coming in to, bolster the team or whatever. It's not spicy at all, but it's definitely not her best book, but it was the one that came up when I was thinking of this.
Lovely. So one last time before we wrap up, I would like to give a shout out to all of our representatives who have joined us today. If you would like our listeners to find you, where can they find you? Danielle, you can start.
I'm not very entertaining on the internet, so you probably shouldn't try to find me.
That's okay. It's okay to just be a lady on the internet. Shane, would you like the Glovelies to find you?
You can follow me on Shane is Rad on Instagram. I put a meme in a story every now and again that you can look for. And then if you love podcasts and cuss words, you can listen to my podcast, Nice Voice, that I do with my childhood best friend, where we talk about nothing and the humor is so stupid. I'm breaking news. We're bringing it back. We haven't done it for like a year, but Nice Voice is coming back in 2026. So look out for that. All right.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Angelina, would you like the Glovelies to find you?
Sure. I am a professional MUA, among other things, makeup artist, and I have a professional page under Atomica Beauty MUA.
Excellent. And Sam, would you like the Glovelies to find you?
Of course. I'm on Instagram and TikTok as SK Brown Writes Romance.
Lovely. Excellent. And Sherry, would you like the Glovelies to find you?
I absolutely would. You can find me at anywhere, really, on any of the platforms at Pine Tar Princess. So you can find me there or at my nonprofit, which is Kids on First Foundation. We help promote diversity in baseball.
Excellent. Okay, Glovelies, that'll do it for this episode of Glove Actually. Once again, I'd love to thank our panel of the American League Central fans for joining us today. And thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to the Glove Actually podcast on Spotify. And be sure to turn on post notifications to stay in the loop when we post our new episodes. And as we finish up, we're going to go one by one and tell the Glovelies what we are looking forward to most this week in the world of baseball, or who we hope has fun this week. Danielle, are you ready to go?
Yeah, first of all, I hope I have fun this week. A little bit of selfishness here. But as far as baseball goes, a few weeks ago, I purchased a subscription to watch Australian Baseball League. Time difference was a little rough. So this week, I'm going to do some slacking off, and I'm going to catch up on Australian baseball.
Excellent. Shane, who do you hope has fun this week?
I hope that everyone in the world except for the Los Angeles Dodgers and their entire organization have fun this week.
Excellent. Perfect. Angelina, who do you
Yes
hope
to
has fun
that,
this
Shane.
week?
Yes to that.
But
Excellent.
maybe this will encourage other teams to pay players more, which I'm in favor of.
Angelina, who do you hope has fun this week in baseball?
I'm looking forward to what's going to happen at the end of the month, seeing, what happens with Mr. Scooble there.
Excellent.
I have to shout it out to my niece Lily and my nephew Benjamin, and I hope they have a wonderful weekend. And I love them very much.
Yay. Sam, who do you hope has fun this week?
Yeah, I really hope that Salvi has a good week. I know that he was one of the players that was in Venezuela during a recent raid, so I can't imagine like the stress of being there, or even if he were to be here, while it's going on, like it hits a little too close to home. So I really hope that he has a great week and everyone's safe and sound.
Yeah. And Sherry, who do you hope has fun this week? What are you looking forward to?
I really hope that all the international free agent kids continue to have a really good week. They've all had their dreams come true. They're all going to be playing with major league teams at the ages of 16 and 17. And I just absolutely love that journey for them. So I hope that they have an amazing rest of the week.
Excellent. I think that about does it for this episode of Glove Actually. I'm Hallie. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great week, Glovelies. And as always, be kind, keep it cute, and stay glovely.